Okay, this is notes over solving three variable systems of equations by substitution. First part says, if the point is a solution, this means the point lies on the plane, so it will give a true result. Okay. It says substitute all three variables in the first equation. Simplify to determine if a true statement or a false statement. If it's true, repeat for the next question. If it's false, then that means it is not a solution set. So let's look at example 1. So the only difference between this one and the one we did last unit is now we have a third variable here. So these points are working in 3-dimension, so x, y, and z, versus 2-dimension, x and y. All you need to know is that this is x, this is y, and this is z. So I'm going to plug them into all of my equations, and if I get a true statement, I continue. Whenever I get a false, that means there's no solution. So let's start with the first one. 2x plus y plus 5z equals 8. Plug in 4 for x, so 2 times 4. Plug in negative 5 for y, so minus 5. And plug in 1 for z, so plus 5 times 1 equals 8. I have 8 minus 5 plus 5 equals 8. These 5's cancel, so 8 is equal to 8. This is true, which means this first equation is good. And now I'm going to check the second equation. So I have x plus 3y plus 2z equals negative 9. So I have 4 plus 3 times negative 5 plus 2 times 1 equals negative 9. So 4 minus 15 plus 2 equals negative 9. 6 minus 15 equals negative 9. Negative 9 equals negative 9. True. Now I'm going to check the last one. Negative x minus 2y plus c is equal to negative 13. So I'm going to plug in negative 4 minus 2 times negative 5 plus 1 equals negative 13. Negative 4 plus 10 plus 1 equals negative 13. Negative 3 plus 10 is equal to negative 13. 7 is equal to negative 13, which is false. So since we got one false, that means that the point 4, negative 5, 1 is not a solution. And this is our answer. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for number 2. So I'm going to plug in x, y, and z, starting with my first equation. So negative x plus 2y plus 2z is equal to negative 4. I'm going to plug in a negative 2, so negative 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 2 times negative 6 is equal to negative 4. That's 2 plus 6 minus 12 equals negative 4. 8 minus 12 equals negative 4. I don't know why I wrote negative 14. And then negative 4 is equal to negative 4, which is true. So I move on to the next equation. So 4x plus y minus 3z is equal to 13. So 4 times negative 2 plus 3 minus 3 times negative 6 is equal to 13. Negative 8 plus 3 plus 18 is equal to 13. Negative 5 plus 18 is equal to 13. So 13 is equal to 13. True. Now I'm going to do the third one. X minus 5y plus z is equal to negative 23. Negative 2 times negative 5 times 3 minus 6 equals negative 23. Negative 2 minus 15 minus 6 equals negative 23. Negative 17 minus 6 equals negative 23. Negative 23 equals negative 23. True. Since all three equations are true statements, then that means negative 2, 3, and negative 6 is a solution. And that's my answer. So that was 1 and 2. Now, in this next part, we're going to have to solve for x, y, and z. Okay? So our first step is to look and see if any of our equations already has a variable by itself, which this third one does. Z is equal to 5. So I'm going to label this as 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to write step 1, plug 3 into 2. So my equation 2 is y plus 2z is equal to 13. We know z is 5, so y plus 2 times 5 equals 13. Y plus 10 equals 13, so y is equal to 3. This is equation 4. Now I have z and y, I can find x by plugging them both into my first equation. So step 2, plug 3 and 4 into 1. So 2x minus 3y plus z equals 10. That's 2x minus 3 times 3 plus 5 equals 10. 2x minus 9 plus 5 equals 10. 2x minus 4 equals 10. 2x equals 14. X equals 7. So that means I have x, y, z is equal to 7, 3, 5. That's my answer. Example 4. First, I label all my equations, and then I'm going to pick an equation that is easiest to solve for any variable. So notice equation 1 right here has an x by itself, which means it will be easiest to solve for that x. So that's what I'm going to do. Step 1, get x and 1. So we're going to get x by itself. X minus 3y plus 6z is equal to 21. X is equal to 3y minus 6z plus 21. That's equation 4. Now I'm going to take that equation 4 and I'm going to plug it into 2 and 3 because I already used 1, so I'm going to plug it into 2 and 3. So plug in 4 into 2. 2 is 3x plus 2y minus 5z equals negative 30. 4, instead of x, we're going to put 3 times 3y minus 6z plus 21. Plus 2y minus 5z is equal to negative 30. Notice how I only have 2 variables now, y and z. That's the goal. I went from 3 variables to 2 variables. So simplifying this, I have 9y minus 18z plus 63 plus 2y minus 5z equals negative 30. So this is 11y minus 23z is equal to negative 93. That's equation 5. Now I'm going to plug 4 into 3. Well, equation 3 is 2x minus 5y plus 2z is equal to negative 6. But we know that equation 4 is that x equals 3y minus 6z plus 21. So 2 times 3y minus 6z plus 21 minus 5y plus 2z is equal to negative 6. 6y minus 12z plus 42 minus 5y plus 2z is equal to negative 6. Simplifying, I get y minus 10z is equal to negative 48. That's equation 6. Now I'm looking at equation 5 and equation 6. Out of 5 and 6, which one is easiest to get a variable by itself? Well, that would be number 6 because we can get y by itself very easy. So I'm going to go to step 4. And I'm going to get y in 6. This y minus 10z is equal to negative 48. So y is equal to 10z minus 48. This is equation 7. Then I'm going to plug 7 into 5 because I didn't use that 5 equation yet. So I have 11 times 10z minus 48 minus 23z is equal to negative 93. So this is 110z minus 528 minus 23z is equal to negative 93. So this is 87z is equal to 435. Divide both sides by 87. Z is equal to 5. This is going to be equation 8. So now that I have that, I'm going to plug 8 into 7. So y is equal to 10 times 5 minus 48, which is equal to 50 minus 48, which is 2. So y is equal to 2 is equation 9. And then I'm going to plug equation 9 into and equation 8 into 4. So I have x is equal to 3 times 2 minus 6 times 5 plus 21. So x is equal to 6 minus 30 plus 21. So running out of space here. X is equal to negative 3. Okay, which means I have my solution x, y, z is equal to negative 3 to 5. That's my answer. Okay, number 5. My first step is to find any of these equations to get a variable by itself. I'm going to choose 2 and I'm going to get z by itself. So get z in 2. So negative 5y plus z is equal to 31. So z is equal to 5y plus 31. That's equation 4. Then I'm going to take equation 4 and plug 4 into 1. So 2x minus 2y plus 5y plus 31 equals 3. So 2x plus 3y plus 31 equals 3. 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 28. That's equation 5. Then I'm going to plug 4 into 3. So that's x plus 3y plus 2 times 5y plus 31 is equal to negative 21. So this is x plus 3y plus 10y plus 62 is equal to negative 21. So I have x plus 13y plus 62 is equal to negative 21. And then I have x plus 13y is equal to negative 83. That's equation 6. Now from equation 5 and 6, I'm going to pick one to get a variable by itself. Well, the easiest one to do that is 6. So I'm going to get x and 6. So x plus 13y is equal to negative 83. So x is equal to negative 13y minus 83. This is equation 7. I'm then going to plug 7 into 5. Equation 5 was 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 28. So I have 2 times negative 13y minus 83 plus 3y is equal to negative 28. Notice I now have everything in terms of y. So I have negative 26y minus 166 plus 3y is equal to negative 28. So I have negative 23y is equal to 138. So y is equal to negative 6. That's equation 8. Okay, then I'm going to plug 8 into 7 so I can find x. So 7 is x is equal to negative 13y minus 83, but we know y is negative 6, so x is equal to negative 13 times negative 6 minus 83. So that's negative 13 times negative 6 minus 83 is negative 5. So x is equal to negative 5. That's equation 9. Now I'm going to plug, let's see, I just need to find z. And z only has a y in it. So I'm going to plug 8 into 4. So that's z is equal to 5y plus 31. So z is equal to 5 times negative 6 plus 31. Z is equal to negative 30 plus 31. So z is equal to 1. That's equation 10. Now that I found all of them, I can say that my answer x, y, z is equal to negative 5, negative 6, 10. Okay. Now these last two, we're going to deal with some special cases here. What that means is we can get two different types of solutions. We can get no solution, or we can get infinite solution. So we know that it's no solution if we get a false statement. What that means is if we get 3 is equal to 5, that's false, so it's no solution. Infinite solution means we get a true statement. For example, 3 is equal to 3. If we end up with the number equal to itself, it's an infinite solution. So let's go ahead and try number 6. So first I'm going to label my 1, 2, and 3. And notice that in my step 1, x is already by itself in that first equation. So I'm going to take equation 1 and plug it into 2 and 3. So plug in 1 into 2. Step 1. So x plus y plus 2z is equal to 1. So this is y minus c plus y plus c, plus 2z is equal to 1. So this is 2y plus c is equal to 1. This is equation 4. Sorry, excuse me. Step 2. I'm going to plug in 1 into 3. So 3x plus 3y plus 6c is equal to 4. Instead of x, I'm going to plug in y minus c. So 3 times y minus c plus 3y plus 6c is equal to 4. So I have 3y minus 3z plus 3y plus 6c is equal to 4. So this is 6y plus 3z is equal to 4. This is equation 5. Now I'm going to look at equation 4 and 5 and see which one I can get a variable by itself. Well, if I look at equation 4, I can easily get z by itself. So that's what I'm going to do. So get z in 4. So 2y plus z is equal to 1. So z is equal to negative 2y plus 1. That's equation 6. Now in my next step, I'm going to plug 6 into 5. So 6y plus 3z is equal to 4. So that's 6y plus 3 times negative 2y plus 1 is equal to 4. 6y minus 6y plus 3 is equal to 4. My y's cancel out, and I'm left with 3 is equal to 4, which is a false statement, which means my answer is no solution. Okay, same thing with number 7. I'm going to label my 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to pick an equation where it's easiest to solve for a variable. Well, that case would be equation 1 because I can get y by itself. So step 1, get y and 1. So 2x plus y minus 3z is equal to negative 2. So y is equal to negative 2x plus 3z minus 2. That's equation 4. Step 2. I'm going to take 4 and plug into 2. So that's 7x plus 3y minus c is equal to 11. Instead of y, I'm going to put what we got for equation 4. So 7x plus 3 times negative 2x plus 3z minus 2 minus c is equal to 11. 7x minus 6x plus 9z minus 6 minus c equals 11. So x plus 8z is equal to 17. That is equation 5. Step 3, I'm going to take 4 and plug into 3. So equation 3 is negative 4x minus 2y plus 6c equals 4. And equation 4 was for y, so negative 4x minus 2 times negative 2x plus 3z minus 2 plus 6c is equal to 4. Negative 4x plus 4x minus 6c plus 4 plus 6c is equal to 4. My x's and my z's cancel out. And so I'm left with 4 is equal to 4, which is a true statement, which means my answer is infinite solutions.